The grudge sound effects going on over here. Are back to a somewhat decent FPS. I have to tweak some of the visual settings. Because this game doesn't even run 4K, it goes 1440. There's some settings I should be able to tweak here that kind of give me more frames. Alright, here comes the tense part of the series. Exploring the bunker. This is a different flavor from what this series is used to. This would actually be our first bunker for our long form content. I believe you can get a exoskeleton in here. If you're lucky on the spawn. Usually heavy radiation is an indicator. There's a good rare item waiting for you. Our exoskeleton is so clutch. Just stay like dead center here. Not have to worry about radiation as much. Lots and lots of zombies. A good spawn location for this bunker is we can grab a decent amount of military boxes here. That's why we do the bunkers for the most part. Then some ammo and some cool stuff. Never really want to turn down a chance at another exoskeleton just to flex. And other people can watch the series, and while they're struggling to find their first exoskeleton suit, they can see one proudly mounted on a mannequin of mine. Oh, good SVD. Man, I really don't make it a habit of picking up any more broken guns, but I figure the SVD is somewhat rare enough to warrant it. And they can always sell it to you, but I'm so much of a hoarder, I usually just keep them. Might be a time where I just offload a bunch of them. Get some money. Right, I would have already if it meant that I was able to buy plastic from the shop. Unfortunately, I cannot. Where's I'm coming from? Would they disturb me? How fun would it be if, like, they released patch notes, didn't mention that they added a new monster, and then you're just walking through the bunker and all of a sudden something new and terrifying comes at you? The grudge sound effects going on over here. It's just that you can kind of bottleneck the enemies there. Decide whether or not you want to open the floodgates. Crying baby, I still don't really understand. I get the pounding on the doors and these creatures making their own unique sound effects, but a baby crying in the bunker? I got questions. This is a really unique location. Because it is, I think, the only location in which you can get a free save. The best storage item in the game. You can craft it, but it's a lot of resources I'd rather not waste. And if you can pick one up every so often in a bunker, eventually you won't really need to be building them. Get the wood for sure. Ammo, very nice. Bit of a shortcut open up here. Another one creeping about. This is a good room. I'll tell you why in a second. Let's back up a bit here. Thank God these lanky boys can't crouch. We would have been in a pickle for sure. Unlike if they give you a search option when quite literally you can't get anything from them. Ah, there's still so many out here. Actually crazy how many enemies spawn in this bunker. You shoot out one and then like 50 get notified and start to make their way over to you. The most commonly used strategy is to use that silence gun. And kind of pop them off when you see fit. But I'd rather just get most of them out of the way and I can freely explore later, so... Just go loud for the first one, kind of wait it out a bit, and have a bunch of them group up. As long as you find a place where there's not too many points of entry and you can just kind of lock down and retreat if need be, and you can fairly effectively clear out a bunker and explore it. As I was saying, this is a really good room for power. Car batteries and cables litter this place. And you want to take full advantage. Because again, you can craft cables, but they're so overly abundant here, why bother? Save yourself some extra time and resources. Something's crawling over there. You saw that, right? Much the same thing. Very, very sneaky. There's that darn baby again. Somebody give him his binky. Just like some stock sound effect to creep you out. I'm gonna head back. I feel like the siren's coming on soon. I have a general understanding of the layouts of these bunkers, so for the most part I can make my way back without too much trouble. Oh, look at the snow. We got a decent amount of crates. I will say, exploring the bunkers aren't really my favorite. Not at this stage. There was a time where I really wanted to go through all the bunkers I could because I needed the exoskeleton, but after you get that, it's kind of a, well, kind of boring, honestly. Let's drop down some of these crates. I mean, that's pretty much all they're useful now for me at this point. Is providing me a good source of military crates, which any player, new or old, should take advantage of. Technically the safe is the greatest storage item in the game, but in terms of ease of access, it's gotta hands down be the military boxes. The amount that they give you, you don't have to craft them, you can stack them. Shout out to the busiest intersection I live beside. Making all the noise. God forbid I have a window open for more than 2 minutes here. These are all full. I dread the day we actually finish this project and I actually have to start sorting all this stuff. This is kind of freed up. We still have some buffets upstairs. Let's go grab those. Okay, I don't think we'll have enough to finish this aisle, but we'll have a little bit. Just keep chipping away. You know, the snow falls down through here. There's a certain section of this bunker that I could only assume, like, at a certain point in this bunker, that's when this is considered, like, overcast. I can imagine from up here, you're still behind the bunker, but they just didn't put a way to block off falling snow effects. You just kind of clip through. It's pretty funny. I didn't even realize we finished this out. Yeah, well, time to do the old table trick, I suppose. If we could find one. I don't want to grab one from underneath here. You know what, low-key, that's probably what we should have been doing, is finding more tables. I guess we could reuse the ones in the back, since they've already served their purpose, so. Like the wood crunching sound effect of grabbing one. Holy big chunder. The best method I found is to get right on one axis and then get right on the other. So first you want to get as close to the wall as possible. There we go. And then from there as close to this buffet as possible. And then from there you can extrapolate that that is the closest you can get on each side. Therefore, giving you the most accurate measurement. And you pretty much just follow that same philosophy for every piece of furniture. And you should get some symmetry. And there you have it. That is how you accurately separate and aisle off your buffets. Now, I don't know if this is going to end up being flush to this wall. Maybe time will tell there. I have to assume we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 7-ish more aisles. Which honestly isn't too bad since we've already finished 7 already. So we're pretty much halfway there. Almost makes you wish there was a creative mode in this game and you want to collect everything. Just build, 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 build. It all kind of comes down to how serious the dev wants to take base building. As I can possibly see in the future some kind of creative mode, perhaps. If I had to guess, that would be pretty far away in terms of development progress to be made. There's more pressing matters to attend to. Which was why I'm kind of surprised that there's going to be another update. It involves a lot of base building additions. I'm not sure if the community is kind of split on what the devs should focus their resources and time on. Combat, new maps, new items, not just furniture items that many would probably deem fairly redundant and useless. You need to strive for something. This is pretty much this game's version of Fashionscape. Once you've gotten this in slot and done most of what there is to do in the game, you either stop playing and wait for an update, or occupy your time waiting for an update by doing crazy builds like this. Even more so because I'm doing it solo. So I imagine there's some kind of patch notes or some sort of leak or some kind of dev blog post about what's coming up in this new update, a roadmap perhaps, but I actually prefer not to know. I think it's more organic for me playing and also for you, the viewer, to kind of discover it with me. Otherwise, what kind of fun is it if I immediately open up an episode or a stream and I just know everything right off the bat? Especially at this point where I already have such a wealth of knowledge from having played so many hours. It's nice to get a surprise every now and then. Something new that I, as the streamer and you as a viewer, can appreciate. The nuance of surprises and unfamiliarity. This series tends to make me speak more eloquently and articulate my thoughts a little better than I usually would playing other games. Might have to do with the fact that I am maintaining some level of focus and entering a base building flow state. I'm able to pontificate here. I was playing something with a little bit more intensity or faster pace. I can't imagine I would be taking my time to select my words. Gotta kind of fill in the blanks and the gameplay and the screen isn't being occupied with gunfire and hell knows what else. I glitched this out. What happened here? I wasn't letting me place. You thought there was like a building limit? It's so weird. It's only like registered in the spot. Why is it not letting me place this? There we go. And sometimes the game is finicky and a little bit buggy, but that's okay. I've experienced worse bugs. What was the last game you've played where you've experienced a really, really buggy glitch that made the game practically unplayable? Like, I could make the argument that games are buggier now more so than ever, but at the same time, I could kind of make the argument that the bugs and the glitches aren't as heinous. They're not as unplayable as probably some of the glitches back then. Who knows? I honestly can't remember a game or a time really where a game was rendered unplayable because of its glitchiness. I think that there's a decent amount of product testing, quality testing, that something that doesn't happen very often. Funny how it only takes one sewing kit to repair Rat Wolf 5. But it takes 3 in electronics for exoskeleton. And some of the alien uniforms too, I think, take like 2 sewing kits. Rat Wolf hide is exempt from being a huge item sink for sewing kits. Our AK-74 is about to break though. Definitely go repair that. Nothing worse than being in the bunker mid gunfight and all of a sudden your gun just breaks. That happened before and it was not fun. I have plenty of those. I don't need to worry about that. So fix this as well. So we're pretty much good. The exoskeleton still has more than half its durability. I can imagine if they're repaired anytime soon. You get into a bit of a gunfight with a zombie here and there, and next thing you know, that Rat Wolf hide is broken. Yeah, lamps, we have 8 of them. Oh my. Suppose we can start placing them as well. Problem is trying to get this as symmetrical and even as possible. It would kind of be nice to have some kind of grid in terms of like which block I'm standing on. You get a reference point of 1 lamp per block, because the lighting is pretty brutal. If there's anything less than that, like having a lamp here in this 1 block doesn't really do much of illuminating anything around it. Only just the block that it's above. Okay, this light's not even on the proper angle. Something like that. Problem is setting up these lamps sometimes a bit of a mess. Don't know why it tries to do this here. Let's go ahead and go something like that. I'm just kind of eyeballing it, winging it a bit. Being too meticulous with this is kind of a lost cause. You're not going to get anything close to perfection without some kind of grid system. So, what you can really do is just kind of wing it and hope that in the future maybe there's an update where you can have some kind of semblance of accuracy in their system. Well, we have our lamps done for this aisle. That's pretty accurate. Now we can start to do a little bit of wiring here. Again, the benefit of having this underground warehouse is that you can kind of thread the cable. You really can't see much of it. It goes right through. Yeah, all these already have been taken up. We only have 2 more for this splitter, so that means we're going to have to get more splitters set up here. And we're kind of running out of real estate on that wall. I imagine we have to start setting up some over here, but I don't think that'll be enough. Just based on this, like, it's not even 3 aisles worth of lights. You honestly might even just need like a dedicated room for all of these, unless we start setting up on this side. And it'll be kind of ugly setting up anything above this staircase here. Let's just do with what we have now and worry about that when the time comes. It's not like we can outboot this anyways, it'd be such a nightmare. As you can see, the cables we picked up earlier from the bunker in that little power room is paying dividends. It was nice to have some car batteries for storing more power, but at the same time we have so many. I don't see a scenario in which we use them all. If there's even a benefit to using them all. I say that now, but we haven't even really mapped out all of our power yet, so. Any electricians in the chat? We are triggering breakers here. Ripping them the hell out. Yeah. Very nice. Thanks for watching. Watch me live at twitch.tv/JohnnyFuego. And check out my episodes and VODs from this series right here on YouTube.